on the couch last week.
It happens.
Maybe 2 weeks ago. And I'm laying there and I'm exhausted. I've been kiting all day or whatever. And I was just really out of it. And I hear what sounds like rustling. And we had a rat problem years ago, a rodent issue that we've taken care of. And I went, God damn it. How did a rodent get in? I'm just laying there like that. That's all my brain can think of. And then it was really brief and stopped. Then it started again. And I jumped up with my phone and I looked and I saw the dog bowl was right there because sometimes we put it by the couch. And I was like, that must be what's going on. Like I made these decisions about this was it. I lay down again and then I hear a whole lot of noise. And I get up again and I look and there's nothing. I can't figure it out. I lay back down. 5 minutes goes by. I hear more slapping and it sounds like slapping against the PVC doors I have in front of the stand and on top of the tank. That's what it sounds like. I'm like, that's weird. And I'm laying there for about 5 more minutes. I don't hear anything. And I go, now I'm getting awake. And I go, I'm not going to sleep unless I do a good look at this. So I get up and I turn the lights on and I go and I'm looking by the dog bed and the dog food. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I look around the tank. I don't see anything. And there's a stool with some equipment on it by the tank. And I look under the stool and there's one of my tile fish on the floor.
The Orani?
The Orani. An Orani.
However it's said.
Yeah, it's Orani because it's after a person.
Oh.
So it's
how
like
do you say it again? Because I got two.
Orani.
Orani.
That's how I would pronounce it. Orani.
Yeah, it's only a $1,200 to $1,500 fish.
And it's on the floor. And I'm like, fuck. And also now I'm feeling terrible, right?
Yeah.
Well, so I grab it and it's not as wet as I would like it to be. Clearly, because it's freaking laying there, right? But it's not dead.
Yeah.
So I get it in the water and it moves right away. You know, it does that twitch.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's not. There's a chance here. And my brain wasn't on, so I didn't put it in like one of these tanks where they're easy to watch or the end of line tank in the back. I just put it in. He seemed okay. Shrimp came, cleaner shrimp, started cleaning up. I'm like, oh, is that bad or good? I don't know. It's like, I don't know what I can do. So I go back to, I make sure everything's closed up. I figure out how it got out so I can fix that tomorrow, right? The next day, not a problem. The lid was loose on one side, so it could pop up and get through on one corner.
But you don't have a screen lid.
No, the whole thing is enclosed.
Yeah.
So it's the red thing I have in front of the tank. Anything should pop off that and fall back in. There's no, that's why I don't have a screen because the whole thing's enclosed. And on the back of the tank has got egg crate. So if they jump into that, they should bounce right back into the tank.
In your front, it's like a canopy where it comes up. So maybe if he slapped it hard enough and sort of fell through the crack.
Well, it's different now, but that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
Only in one corner, which is now Velcroed down. So that's not going to happen again. And so I'm laying there and the next morning too, I'm just feeling nauseous because I heard it. And because I was out of it, I didn't get up and go look right away like I should have. And I'm like, oh, this poor fish. I don't even care about the price. I'm like, oh, I was just laying there and it was suffering and I was super sad.
I get it, but I'm poor. And so like, if
I understand
$1,200 fish, I'd just be like, Jesus, huge mistake.
No, I mean, that matters too.
Yeah.
But
they're beautiful too.
The animal suffering makes me feel terrible.
Yeah, he's like, I slapped, dude. I told you.
I know, right? And it's the animals I care about suffering that way. I mean, when I feed shrimp to the cuttlefish,
like,
or the octopus and I crush it, who cares? But this fish, I like this fish. And so I was just really very sad. And then about noon the next day, I look in and I couldn't find him all morning. Where is he? Where is he? And I know from the last one, sometimes they hide, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then about partway through the day, about noon, it popped its head out. And I was like, oh, it's not dead.
You're like, what the hell?
Score.
Dude? Yeah.
And then that night at 8. And it was like, oh my God, how does the fish
there? Despite
clearly,
their price tag, I find them to be in their worst quality is their jumping.
yeah.
But
But I'm like
they're
a fish.
resilient.
Yeah, and a fish that never sees land ever.
Yeah.
I guess they're pretty resilient because they burrow and they dig through stuff, and very cool fish. I got 2 other tilefish to put in that tank as well now. So there's 4 tilefish in there.
Did you get what'd you get? The purple one or the red one or the
I got the one with the yellow,
blue?
the
Yeah.
yellow. And then Aquatic Collection has one more for me with the yellow tail and the blue head.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the taxonomy seems to be a mess, so I haven't really tried. And apparently when it's nuptial, it'll get red in the middle.
Oh wow.
So I got to go pick that up. But they're super cool. They blow at the sand all the time. So we're talking about the diatoms and stuff. They're definitely going through that and eating stuff. They're picking up stuff and moving it around all the time.
I have a client that has 2 in his tank, and they do that blowing behavior all the time.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I guess they're trying to blow it, and then they're expecting some sort of worm. I think they're looking for.
They're looking for some kind of food.
Yeah.
So I think they're cool. I think the idea that they live in sand burrows in tanks may or may not be true. I don't think they're sanding in my tank. But there are plenty of places for them to hide in my tank. And like I said, when I got the first 2, all the like I see the Rainfordia all the time now. The flathead
he sort of spooks them out.
No, they dithers them out, I think.
Oh.
And so it's just, and the Swales basslet I see more now as well. And it's not just because I'm looking more. I'm looking about the same, but it's pretty cool. And I like the way they move, and they look very different, and they're bright.
Yeah.
So when they're in the bottom half of my tank, where it's darker, I still see them. So they're bringing me much enjoyment. They do jump, and they eat a lot.
They do.
And they have no interest in non-frozen food so far.
Yeah, mine only eat. Well, I say mine, but my clients, they only eat frozen food. They love ocean plankton from Hikari and PE mysis, and they like little chunky things. But they're not mean at all. But when they go to feed, they feed aggressively.
They bash into everybody when they're chasing food, but otherwise they're like puppies.
They don't look to me that they're like a tang where, damn it, don't get that. You get away from the food. It doesn't look like they're doing that. They're just very exuberant about the feeding.
Yeah, they're just in a rush.
Yeah.
I fed them some live grass shrimp and they went nuts. It was great.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was great. So the moral of the story is, when you get jumpy fish,
get up.
Make sure they can't jump out. So yeah, that's all. And
also, if you're asleep on the couch and you hear slapping,
get up. Get up.